a third-person, free-to-play MMORPG, base rhythm game, cosmic Tony Hawk, dating
farming simulator
is a game I have sunk an ungodly amount of time into, and for good reason. Launched in March 25th of 2013 and developed by Digital Extremes, Warframe started as a very humble and very bizarre sci-fi shooter game, which has quickly grown into the monster it is today after over a decade of updates, additions, and improvements. It had its rough patches in the past, and it will take away hundreds if not thousands of hours of your life, but I want to share why I've stuck with this game for 1,500 hours and counting, and what makes it one of the most unique and impactful gaming experiences I've ever had.
There's a furbon in the air.
Oh shit.
Now, if you aren't one of the tens of millions of registered losers who play Warframe,
million registered users.
One quick glance at the absolute clusterfuck of flashing lights and red numbers on the screen might have you convinced that Warframe is a video game equivalent to those ADHD sensory videos on YouTube.
I don't know anything about any number.
Without delving into the completely incomprehensible lore, let me explain the game in the simplest terms I can. You are a robot space ninja with a hoarding problem who runs around vaporizing people by shooting them point blank with a cannon. In slightly less simple but still understandable terms, Warframe is a looter shooter which focuses heavily on the looter side of that combo. That isn't to say they skimp out on the shooter aspects, but you need to loot to get all the guns you'll need to be getting more loot. New weapons, new frames, new upgrades, building materials, crafting parts, blueprints. Warframe is a game about getting as much stuff as possible so you can build stronger stuff to make it easier to get rarer stuff to build even stronger stuff. Let's talk about some of that stuff. In Warframe, you play as a Warframe. The greatest weapon ever devised by the Orokin Empire. The perfect melding of man and metal, operated by the Tenno to defend the Origin system. At this moment, there are 60 different Warframes, each one possessing their own unique stats and abilities. Warframes include Yeehaw Cowgirl,
Howdy howdy. Let's get rowdy.
Ghost Pirate,
Shiver me pussy.
Snake Boy,
I'm a snag.
Fire Lady, Kirby, Creepy Puppet Girl,
Konnichiwa, you little jit.
Donut Head,
Dark Hog.
and the newest addition, Guitar Hero.
So yeah, you're gay.
You have an arsenal of over 600 different weapons, including swords, whips, scythes, this thing, throwing knives, pistols, SMGs, shotguns, bows, haunted grimoires, naval cannons, regular-ass AK-47s, giant masses of infested flesh that fire boogers at people. Warframe is all about build crafting and customization, with every frame and weapon being heavily modifiable, with new mods coming out with every update to mix up your loadouts. You can build a weapon to focus on single target damage, deleting opponents in a single click, or build it to spread damage over a wide AoE. Build your primary weapon to strip defenses and apply status effects before swapping to your secondary, which has beefed up critical hits. With 3 weapons, a Warframe, and a companion full of mods all playing off of each other, there are some truly creative and devastating builds you can create for any situation the game calls for. What kind of situations are you getting put into, though? While there are plenty of mission types with unique objectives, Warframe is primarily a horde shooter, and it's easily one of the fastest ones out there. You do not duck and cover and take potshots at your enemies in this game. You zip through levels at breakneck speeds and fling yourself through the air so fast that not only do your enemies never know what's going on, you don't know what's going on either. Warframe's movement system is unlike anything else in gaming. It is so smooth, so fast, and so simple that I often find myself trying to bullet jump in other games and getting disappointed that I can't. It'll take some getting used to for new players, but once you master it, you will wish you were able to move this fast in every other video game.
My oh my, I think you found it.
Building your loadout and selecting a mission from the massive star chart, you will take on waves of enemies as you infiltrate data vaults, defend various objectives, or simply see how long you can last against the hordes as you rake in rewards. There are a few special variants of these missions like nightmares and fissures, but scattered around the star chart and outside of it are a few other fun activities, including fishing, racing, gambling, playing guitar, spaceship piloting, roguelike Dark Souls, this random, fully playable arcade game in the mall. There's honestly too much stuff to do in this game. With constantly rotating daily and weekly missions and alerts, it can sometimes be hard to pick what you're going to dedicate your time to. I should do my daily sorties and grind out the circuit, but I also want to stockpile Forma. Should I bother with Formas if I don't have the Oracle cells to build them? I should probably farm those out for a while, but there's also the brand new—
Orders reminds the operator to take time for themselves.
There's so much stuff in this game, but my best bit of advice is to take your time and diversify your activities. You can only sit on Gabby farming Oracle cells for so long before you start to go insane, so mix things up. Do some bounties in the open worlds. Spend an afternoon hunting down a lich for a new shiny gun. Play through one of the amazing quests that I cannot show you because I am not going to spoil them. If you are new and you're starting this game for the first time, please play through the quests. The story and lore of this game elevates it from a fun sci-fi shooter to one of the most engaging and insane plots I have ever experienced in a game. Trust me, when you get to the sacrifice, you will never look at this game the same way ever again. As you probably noticed throughout the video, I'm playing with all sorts of very stupid looking characters who all appear to be armed with Nerf guns. This is thanks to Warframe's honestly ridiculous customization options. If letting you choose over 600 weapons wasn't enough, each weapon can be freely colored and has unique weapon skins and cosmetic accessories. Same thing goes for all of the Warframes, who can also be freely customized with modular armor pieces, cosmetic effects, alternate helmets, and skins. You can even swap out their entire animation sets, or even customize how you holster your weapons, or if they even appear on your frame at all when holstered. Customization and fashion is huge in this game, and basically every single thing can be customized in some way. They recently added motorcycles to the game and they have 10 different custom models and liveries at launch. Not only is your spaceship customizable, but the interior is too thanks to the decoration mechanics in the game. I feel that I have a pretty snazzy little ship without putting too much effort into it, but there are some people out there who can do some insane stuff with these tools. I just want to shout out the Warframe community while I have you here, because, like the game itself, the community this game has is unlike any other. How many developers do you know have weekly Twitch streams where they play their own game? How many development studios do you know where the lead director and the company CEO spend time every week chatting to their players as they announce new content? Digital Extremes is an incredibly bizarre company in the current landscape of game development, with how down-to-earth they are with their community. It's also one of the only game companies I've ever seen regularly make donations to charities and host in-game fundraisers. Their goodwill towards their community has fostered a pretty lively and welcoming fan base too. Sure, there are bad apples, there are in every community, but I haven't seen that many communities that go out of their way to welcome and teach new people over gatekeeping. I remember way back when in 2017 when I first started playing, which was 8 fucking years ago, Jesus Christ. I was trying to get my hands on Meg. I was a baby who had no idea what was going on or what I was doing. I didn't even know where to get the parts. Asking in chat, someone not only tells me where to get the parts, but offers to take me there and help me unlock her. This random guy in region chat just saw my level 2 ass asking for help and decided to spend the next half an hour carrying me through the boss until I got all the parts. It was probably because the sergeant is the easiest boss in the game, and even back then you could sneeze next to him and he'd die instantly, but still, this isn't a one-off case either. I've been helped multiple times throughout my journey, and I've done the same for others. This whole game is a power fantasy where you're trying to make yourself look as cool as humanly possible. You gotta show off to the little guys every once in a while to give them something to aspire to. There's a bunch of other stuff that I'd like to get into, like the history of the game, the unique game modes, the insane twists and turns in the story and the lore, but I want to have some surprises for anyone who does decide to get into this game thanks to this video. I think I'm gonna wrap up here, but before I do, I have a few tips for those potential new players. Your mastery level goes up by fully leveling new pieces of equipment. Never throw away anything until that gear is level 30. And even then, never throw away quest rewards. Check all your weapons on the wiki before selling them to make sure they aren't a component for another weapon. Make sure to always have a form of crafting in your foundry. Never play spy missions in public lobbies. Even if you can clear a spy vault in 2 seconds flat, there's no guarantee that your teammates can, and it only takes one failed vault to screw up an entire sortie. Try to log in every single day to gather up as many login rewards as possible. Warframe is a game that I have spent far too much time with, but I don't regret any of the time that I've spent with it. I just spent like 15 minutes talking at you about this game, but I still don't really know how to express how I feel about it. Maybe people feel the same way about other MMOs like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, but this game feels like a journey. Fumbling around as a clueless idiot when I first started, persevering and growing stronger with the help of others, it's a journey I think you should go on. And I'll be out there in the Origin system waiting for you, ready to lift you up.